Good morning, everybody. I feel a little bit like a dentist with this noise, but never mind. It's the second time that I'm in Kerala. 20 years ago, I was in a festival in Bangalore with one of my films, and I decided to have a private journey to Kerala because I was always interested in seeing Kerala. I spent a couple of days in Trivandrum, in Kovalam. I wanted to go to Kochi, but I didn't have the time. This time I'm here with 7 films, as you said. It's my 3rd week in India. I was before the president of the jury in Goa Film Festival. So I watched the film from others, and now the people watch my films here. And it's really amazing experience to be in Kerala with all this enthusiastic audience. I think I never saw such a great audience like here in the world. So enthusiastic and open, and what is fantastic, the people here live with the films. You can feel that they breathe with the film in the screening room. It's really wonderful experience for me, and what else to say? If you have some questions, because you saw, I'm afraid just 2 of my films till now, or 3, and it goes in the opposite way, from the last one to the first one, which is Beach Garden Winter Time, will be shown here when I already leave Kerala. I go to Chennai, because in Chennai also I have all these 7 or 8 films showing. So this time I decided to stay 2 months in India, traveling, discovering the country, and it's really a fascinating country. So you're lucky to live here, I think, with all the problems. But the problems are everywhere, you know.
Sir, do you face any change in filmmaking after the disintegration of Yugoslavia?
Not really. In Yugoslavia, we had Serbian cinema, Croatian cinema, Slovenian cinema, even when Yugoslavia was one country. But we collaborate between us. Croatian actors play in the Serbian film, Serbian actors play in Croatia. I personally made 2 films in Croatia. So we really collaborate very tightly between us. After the war came, we were separated, but the links between the artists stayed. And the difference is that we are now again on the beginning to reach this big space of Yugoslavia. I mean, comparing to India, it's not big, but it was a great space to show our films to 20 million people, not now just to 8 million, 3 million, 5 million, because we are divided. But we started to collaborate again. And for example, my last film, you had the opportunity to see here, When Day Breaks, is made in collaboration with Croatia. The main actor, Mustafa Nadarevic, is a Croatian actor, but from the Muslim origin, playing Serb in my film, who discovered that he is Jewish, in fact. So, between the artists, never was the separation. We hated this war. We all were, and especially filmmakers, against the ultranationalism who destroyed our country.
Good morning, sir. I'm Suresh here.
How many theaters are there in
Yugoslavia, a number of movies you make every year, and the pricing of your tickets in euro.
I can talk about Serbia. Serbia is 8 million people now. We producing about 15 films a year, and but unfortunately more and more we are losing classic theaters. It's a big multiplex in every city, and the small cinema which showing the art films are less and less, you know, because they sold in the new they sold this cinema, the state, to the private persons, and they changed it to the casinos, unfortunately. So we are fighting now in Serbia to come to get back some of the cinemas. In all, we don't have more now without multiplex, more than 150 cinemas, which is really very low figure.
Goran, this is a question that is always very interesting in Kerala. Would you describe yourself as a political filmmaker? You were one of the people who was very critical of what happened between the Serbs, and you were also critical of Milosevic, and so would you describe yourself as a political filmmaker? And if so, what is, I mean, what is this notion of a political filmmaker?
But every man is the political human being, if I can say like that. Unfortunately, especially in last 2 decades in Serbia, policy influenced very much our lives. I cannot to say that I'm political filmmaker. I don't make a film with the thesis, political thesis. I just describe the ordinary life, ordinary people, their problems, and I try to make emotional film about what's going on between the ordinary people, their problems, but unfortunately the policy is very present in their everyday life. So in a way I am political filmmaker.
You live in Serbia?
Yes, I live in Serbia and in Paris, in France, because my wife, she is present here, she is French, so we are obliged to live a little bit in her country and a little bit in my country, so I'm not classical immigrant. I always prefer to make my films in Serbia because I know my people and I'm like a fish in the water, we said, when I am in Serbia. But I was obliged during the Milosevic period because they attacked me violently because I attacked them, but they are stronger than me. They have a police and I don't have it. So I left the country for one moment when that became really physically dangerous for me to stay there because some journalists disappear, some really bad things happen. And in that moment, it's the late 90s, I made the film One in America, Someone Else's America, which is not presented here, and How Harry Became a Tree, which is the Irish film. But in fact, it's a metaphor about the Milosevic. And I made it in Ireland, so you have opportunity to see it today. I had a big pleasure in Ireland to work with their talents because they have wonderful actors. And somehow the Serbs and Irish, they are very similar. Stubborn people, very proud. And we had our enemies for the centuries, the Turks, and they had their enemies, the English, for the centuries. So somehow we are similar, with similar problems.
Okay. Goran will be in conversation with Bharadwaj Rangan at 2 p.m. in Nila Theatre. So you'll get to know more about his work, his thoughts, his life. So please do join us for that as well. Thank you.